So over the past few days, I have completely immersed myself with the Nintendo Switch 2 right here. And in this video, I'm going to be going over the things I've learned, the highs, the lows, and the things that you should definitely be aware of, especially if you haven't got this console and are thinking about getting it. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. What are you looking at? Okay, first let's just start out with the basic stuff, like for example, the screen being way bigger than the Nintendo Switch, which is obviously going to just make this a lot more of a convenient and enjoyable experience when you're using the console. Some people may feel like it's too big, but that's not going to be my complaint here. I actually really do enjoy the screen size and the display of the console, so this is just going to be an overall plus. Then when you're talking about things like the new controllers, I do like that they are bigger. Like, they feel more comfortable in your hand when you're playing with them. However, I'm gonna be honest, I do think the sliding was a bit easier to do. Maybe I just gotta learn the magnet thing a bit more. I definitely have had the Switch 1 way longer than the Switch 2, but the magnetism is definitely super duper cool to play with. And then overall, probably one of the coolest upgrades has to be the new stand for the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know if you can see it right here, but that is just fantastic, bro. It just makes it so tabletop is a brand new experience that is really rejuvenated when we're talking about the grand scheme of things, because I knew a lot of people who their Switch, the little stand, it was just this little stick and it would break off very easily. You don't want to take it out of the house if that's going to be the experience you're having. So now to have this really nice stand, it's almost like, why wouldn't the Switch already have that? But I'm not mad now that it's here. I'm also really impressed with the speaker on this console. Just listen to this. Like, that's pretty good. Next, I'd like to talk a little bit about compatibility, because this is a huge win in my mind, and it's something that actually was even better than I could have even hoped for it to be honest. And that's going to be mainly in the respect of games and the controllers. So first of all of your Nintendo Switch 1 games, except for Nintendo Labo, the VR version specifically, can be transferred to the Nintendo Switch 2. That's the only one that cannot. If you have that game and that's your favorite game, I am so sorry. I don't know what to do. But essentially, any other game than that will be able to be seamlessly transferred onto Nintendo Switch 2. And this is a really cool thing. Now, just a heads up, if you've ever modded your Switch before, not saying I have, you know, I know a guy though. He always used to get all these Smash mods. It's going to be a bit tougher for you. You're going to have to transfer one game at a time, okay? Just look it up on the internet. There will be guides for you. You know, my friend told me that. But, you know, aside from that, you really are able to transfer everything over very seamlessly. And that's not even to mention the fact that even your controllers from the original Nintendo Switch are able to be paired with the Nintendo Switch 2. And this really shocked me, because essentially I thought it was going to be that if you had a Pro controller, maybe it would still work, but a Joy-Con from the Nintendo Switch, I thought there was just no way, because it can't slide onto the console, so how would it work? But actually, you can wirelessly connect them, and it works just fine. And so to be able to still use them, because I couldn't imagine, I just wasted all that money on Joy-Cons that can't be used, but they can, luckily. The only thing to know, I'd say, is you cannot charge them using the Nintendo Switch 2. So hold on to your original Nintendo Switch if you ever want to be able to charge your Joy-Cons again, because otherwise, if they die, they're kaputs. Next, I would like to talk about the new upgrades to existing titles, mainly being Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and then also Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. First, I'll talk about Zelda. So these are really awesome upgrades. These essentially just boost the frame rate and performance of the two Zelda games on the Nintendo Switch original to the Nintendo Switch 2. And it's just the type of thing where it's like, Zelda was already such a really big game that obviously the original Switch is going to struggle to render it. And they made some adjustments and things to really try to boost performance as much as they could on the original Switch, but it's just going to be tough when a game is that expansive. So now to have a console that can actually run the game, it makes it just that much smoother of an experience. And it's not even like when I was playing Breath of the Wild, I was like, man, this can't run. It really felt fine, but now it just feels that much better. And then when you're going to talk about something like the Pokemon franchise and you go to Scarlet and Violet, this is a really interesting case, because the thing is, the game actually is really smooth and great now. All the old glitches and bugs were removed. The game looks actually good. The frame rate is good. You never see stuttering. You never see just people disappearing off in the distance, which is all like, yeah, that's awesome. Why did we have to wait years for that? Like, that's crazy. I remember I bought this game. I don't even remember what year that came out. And I couldn't even get past the first gym because I was just losing interest. I would see random Pokemon off in the distance. They would look exciting, and then they would just disappear because they got too far from me. I would see a windmill spinning, and then it would just stop. And then it would resume again, you know? Like, it was just really, really odd. So I'm glad they fixed all that stuff, but it's like, okay, is that really something to lose my mind about? It's like, I'll take it though. But what I do not like, and I have to bring this up, is the fact that these are not free. So for example, normally if I have a game like Super Smash Bros., I can just put in my Smash cartridge after going through the data transfer on the original Nintendo Switch, and then would you look at that, I've got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Nintendo Switch too. But if I have a game like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I can do the exact same thing, hypothetically. I can transfer the game to the Nintendo Switch 2, but I will not be receiving these upgrades unless one of two things takes place. Either I pay $50 annually for the Nintendo Switch 2 plus expansion pass version of Nintendo Switch Online, which I'm never gonna pay that. Once you've gotten me on a $20 a year subscription, I'm never getting off that. Second thing you can do is pay a $10 fee to be able to upgrade the game. And it's like, okay, people will say $10 really isn't that much. Sure, you know, I'll pay the $10 for Breath of the Wild. But it starts to add up because it's not $10 for the whole thing. It's $10 just per game. So $10 Breath of the Wild, $10 Tears of the Kingdom, $10 for, you know, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That's $30 real quick. And it's like, you know, so I really don't like that aspect of it. I gotta be honest. I don't want to have to just throw my bank away just to play a better version of the game that I already bought, you know? I'm not even trying to hate or anything. I love Nintendo. I love the Nintendo Switch 2. I've been wanting this for so long, bro. Look, I've got not one, but two of them, okay? And I'm gonna be giving the other one away. But that just goes to show, like, I really, really, really am rooting for them. But these are just minor things that I'm like, okay, why would you do that? Here's really the most important thing. If you're gonna take anything away from this video, it should be from this section, because this is something I think a lot of people really need to know about the console right now. I have really enjoyed my time with the Nintendo Switch, trying the improved version of these games, etc., right? However, I remember that day I walked into GameStop to purchase the console, and they asked me, they had two versions. They said, would you like the version with Mario Kart or without? The Mario Kart version's $50 more. They're like, but normally it's $80, so you're saving $30. I'm like, I don't even really play Mario Kart that often. I'm just gonna get the normal version, you know? I get the normal version. If you get the normal version, there's nothing. I mean, like, you got no games, no new games. Mario Kart's the only new game, which is crazy. Like, actually, there's no new games. I know Donkey Kong's over the horizon. I know Metroid Prime 4 is over the horizon. I played them both. I know. I played them. You don't have to tell me. What you do have to tell me is what I'm supposed to do with this console while I wait for that. Because that's the only weird thing about it. You know, I think a lot of people have been looking forward to this for a while, but if you didn't get Mario Kart, you've got nothing. And if you did get Mario Kart, that's all you've got. Because that's all that's out there. I'm hoping they're going to start dropping games soon, but seriously, that's kind of an issue. You know what game the Nintendo Switch launched with? Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And you know what came out only about 2 months after that? Mario Odyssey. These are insane games, bro. And not to say Mario Kart's not that, but it's Mario Kart. It's a racing game. How many times are you going to play that? Most people, at least. You know, there's obviously a dedicated community that's going to be racing in circles on a track for 25 hours a day. But I think the average person, you're going to go for a couple spins in the track, and then maybe you're done with it. So it does kind of make you wonder, like, is there something else? Like, what's going on, guys? So, like, let's be honest. Do I use my Switch 2? Yeah, I use it a lot. But it's just because I used my Switch 1 a lot. It's just like a better version. But it's like, if that's like, most people aren't trying to get that, they're trying to get a new console. So until the new stuff starts coming out, it won't really feel like that. So really, when I'm telling you, should you get the console right now? I'd say for 99.9% of people, unless you're, you know, something you do for work has to do with it, or I don't know, I would say probably wait to get it until more stuff releases. There's really no rush. I don't know why you'd rush to get it right now, because there's just not a lot for it right now. You know, maybe if they had a bigger launch title or something like that, but right now there's really no rush. Just take your time, wait. There's going to be a bunch of games that are released in the future, and it might even be cheaper than it is now if you wait. So I would say especially don't buy, you know, like a scalped version of the console. People are selling it for $700, $750. It's like, don't rush, bro. You spend $750 and you'll have nothing. All you have is the opportunity to spend $80 on Mario Kart, or the opportunity to spend $10 to upgrade your games over. So it's like, bro, just wait, please. You know, for your own good, I'd say just wait. Again, I want to remind you, these are just my first thoughts on the console in literally my first couple days using it. I'm even enjoying it right now, but I just think only diehards should be getting the game right now, or the console rather. But what do you guys think? Are you guys still planning on getting one anyway right now? Or are you guys just gonna wait? Or do you not want one at all? You know, or do you want one and you want to try to win the giveaway of the Nintendo Switch 2 that I got right here, sealed up in this box right here? And if so, you know, you may be in luck, because you may be the lucky winner. But yeah, I mean, be sure to leave what you guys have to say in the comments down below. And please be sure to like and subscribe as well. I cannot believe it. We just hit 900 subscribers. 6 days before recording this, we hit 800 subscribers. And 3 days before recording that, we hit 700 subscribers. So we've been kind of going off right now, but we are on the road to 1K. So it would mean a lot if you subscribe. And it's just a cool way to show that you enjoy the video. So yeah, hope you guys liked it. Be sure to subscribe, and see ya.
Take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt.
Without further ado, let's just get right into it.